Do you think we need to... Wait, I have to move it an inch. Should we just get a new table?
We might as well, right?
I think it's time. This has been used and abused.
Yeah, right?
We've stuck with this for way too long.
Yeah. We even took out the handle a care sticker off. It was right there for a while.
Was it really?
No.
Oh.
I was like, really? I missed that?
That was a good lie.
I know.
All right. Bring us in, Figgish.
Welcome to another episode of HodgePodge.
I heard the music in my
Me
head.
too.
I'm Fig.
Dan.
Tom.
We gotta switch that around one time. We gotta reverse it.
Tom.
Dan.
Fig.
Perfect.
I like it.
So, I think we're going to talk a little music today, boys. I think Fig has a pick of the week.
The arts, yes.
Ooh.
And I have a quick little story time I wanted to break out for an Oldies concert that I went to.
Ooh.
What's an Oldies concert?
So, a lot of old people there, I think.
Yeah, is it? It's just old people.
Yeah, it's just old people.
So it is.
They just assemble.
It is just an old. Yeah, I guess what constitutes oldies. So that's the thing. That's kind of what was interesting as we were sitting there. It was a concert that my dad takes my grandma to every year in State Theater, New Brunswick.
Ooh, nice.
In New Brunswick, New Jersey.
That's the fancy of the Brunswicks.
It's fancy. Yeah, it's the fanciest of the Brunswicks.
Yeah.
There's no East Brunswick.
Yes, there is.
No, I said it's no East.
Oh,
Brunswick.
it is no East. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
But he tasked me with coming along as well because as my grandma gets older, just she can kind of have me to walk her in as my dad parks the whole nine. So I took her in, and it's immediate. You get immediate easy victories when you bring your grandma in because everyone's like, "Is that your grandson? Oh, he's so sweet." And I'm
Does
like,
she know people who are there?
No. It's just, you know how old people are. They're just
always friends.
Yeah. Everyone's friends. Everyone knows each other, and they all have certs in their purse.
Oh, hey, Chad.
Yeah. Do you want a Werther's?
did they pinch your cheek and?
Pretty much. They were just like, "Is that your grandson? Oh, it's so nice for him to bring you there."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, he's great." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's right."
And then you left with just lipstick all over your face.
And again, a pocket full of Werther's.
Yeah.
And peppermint candies.
Ooh, and those strawberry things.
Yeah, the strawberry cream savers.
Yeah. I love
Aren't
those.
they cowtails? They're big with cowtails too?
Are they?
I think so.
Oh man, I have yet to meet an old person with
I
cowtails.
love cowtails.
Yeah, me too.
Werther's, I know.
Like the
but
small
cowtails-
ones?
Yeah,
Oh,
little bite-sized
yeah.
cowtails.
Yeah.
But she was like, "You want a mint?" And she doesn't have Tic Tac. She's like, "Do you want a mint?" She pulls it out of her purse. My grandma, it's just like a peppermint, one of those star peppermint.
Yeah.
Of course, she has a whole thing of them. And so as we get there, like you said, the crowd is. I'm not kidding you. The average age has to be 75 years old.
Really?
Probably. My grandma is 85.
Okay.
And she's like a kid when she gets there. It's doo-wop music.
Yeah.
The main
Doo-wop.
Yep. The main music, and we'll play an example, but the main music is doo-wop.
Yeah.
And so these guys that are on stage, guys and girls that are on stage, have been singing for 60 plus years.
Wow.
This music.
Yeah.
And when they come on stage, they're hunched over and they're careful and they're walking like they would be at that age.
Yeah.
And then they belt out an amazing voice.
Right.
That's awesome.
It's unbelievable. It's my dad used to tell me for all the concerts, he's like, "You wouldn't believe these guys."
Yeah.
And it's no joke.
It's almost like those things that you see on YouTube where it's like
Susan Boyle, like Susan Boyle.
No, yeah, that maybe, yeah, but it's like a young guy in like old age makeup, and he like walks to a park where where everyone's like exercising, and then he's like doing pull-ups, and everyone's like amazed.
Or like basketball, like breaking people's legs in basketball.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, exactly. Except these people, unless the makeup is really good, these people are old.
Yeah.
It's like I had a similar experience with an Oldies concert also. I went to go see Cypress Hill, and it was just like...
Cypress Hill.
Well, it came out a long time ago.
You figured they've been around for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Guys,
And everybody in the crowd was like in their 50s, 60s. Like, it was just an old group.
Yeah.
It's true.
And they went on stage and they pump out the jams. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
They still got it. And they still wear their bandanas and, of course, like the old
Do
stuff.
they still bring out the ladder? No.
See a ladder, no.
No? The one time I went to go see them, they brought out a ladder, and then they brought out I want to say at least a 7 foot bong, and then they were doing bong rips. Yeah, this was. I was 20 when I saw them. With Jay-Z.
That's what they used to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were lighting up a lot of joints on stage.
I'm sure they were.
A lot of joints.
I'm sure.
The Oldies
Cypress Hill.
Oldies concert didn't have that. The Oldies concert didn't have that.
Are you sure?
No, they didn't have the 6 foot bong. No. They had just a lot of stools.
Like my glaucoma.
Yeah. Listen, the pressure behind my eyes is terrible.
I need it.
But
they probably would have enjoyed a Cypress Hill concert.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about it, and what I thought was funny, was that that music is timeless.
Yeah.
In the sense that, this oldies genre, the doo-wop music is timeless. And I was just sitting there thinking to myself, 60 years from now, like he just mentioned going to see Cypress Hill.
Right.
So 60 years from now, we're all old and we're like, we got to see oh my gosh, I can't wait. Limp Bizkit's gonna be back.
Yeah.
And so we all sit down in the Regal State Theater, this Regal setting, and it's just, it's one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks. And you're like, that's it. And you're like clapping along like an old person. Just
this is my favorite.
This is my favorite
rip
song.
someone's head off.
Just imagine the difference between those two. And I just thought that was so interesting.
Yeah. Oh.
And then at the end of the concert, they're talking about like this East Coast Hall of Fame they want to make. Because I guess a lot of the like the MC was talking about it, and I guess a lot of the acts are on the East Coast, so they want to do just like a specific Hall of Fame for these type of acts. And they're telling all the people in the audience like, you could just when you get home, make sure to go to www. I'm like, these people aren't gonna know what you're saying. Let's be honest. Dot, and I'm like, stop right now. You just got to go to this website. They're not gonna know.
They're gonna like plug it into like Google Maps. Like they told me to go to www.
I told you, my grandma once when she was like, how do you get to the online?
Yeah.
You don't even know really where to begin with that question.
Yeah.
And you come to realize the World Wide Web has been around for 30 years also.
Right.
Just about.
So I think they just celebrated the 30-year anniversary.
Oh, really?
30 years. So,
Al Gore invented it.
No.
Al Gore thinks he invented it.
Yeah, he claims that. He claims.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he started the weather crisis also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Alexander Graham.com.
Graham.
Yeah.
Graham.com.
Yeah.
I think. Was he sent the first letter over the
internet.
Over the electronics.
Yeah.
The first electronic mail.
Email.
Yeah, but those poor ladies, and gentlemen that wanted to try to, vote for their favorite act for the East Coast Hall of Fame, they're not going to vote. Can I send in a written ballot?
Yeah, with a hanging Chad on it.
With a hanging Chad.
A lot of Al Gore references.
Oh my God, yeah. Once I get going.
Yeah. Anyway, that was really the only piece of it. Was just I thought it was so interesting that music lasts that long, and not only can they perform it that long. I mean, my favorite group is Metallica, and they're getting up there in age, and still playing loud and fast music. But those guys to have the 4-part harmonies that they have, and everything is insane. It's insane, and you can't not just listen. I didn't know one. I might have known a couple songs, but you don't need to know the songs to enjoy the concert. It was 2 hours of just really good music.
Yeah.
Great band backing them up.
The thing is with art is timeless, and obviously it's going to be different when we're at a certain age.
It's definitely going to be different.
Where heavy metal was a thing that was pretty much created in the 80s and 90s, and it'll be a little different, but people are still going to be listening to that stuff.
Like Harry's heavy metal music, it's like, here comes Infant Death Puncher. Make sure to hear the new song "Bleed from My Eyes"
on their 70th year tour.
Here they are playing their 70th anniversary of "Bleed from My Eyes" while I burn in hell.
Here's Cannibal Corpse with "They're All Delicious." Like it's
right? Isn't that crazy?
But people would be listening.
It's gonna happen, isn't it?
But
I mean, you're still going to Cypress Hill. That's a great point because you're still going to Cypress Hill concerts at 30 years post their, and 30 years is halfway to 60.
Exactly.
Think about people who go to see, like The Wall, right? Like that's old
Rolling
now.
Stones, but I still feel like even that it's enough of an all-reaching type of music where I'm saying like those specific niche genres where you want to go see, like you mentioned, the super hardcore death metal,
right?
Or even like
even if you look like someone like Slipknot. Slipknot's been around for a while, and their crowd ranges from babies that people have been taking out of their concerts to. I saw a 3-year-old with headphones at a Slipknot concert once, and then you saw
what?
Yeah, he was brought there by his parents.
Yeah.
And then you have the 60-year-olds that are listening to Slipknot and just kind of hanging around and listening to the beats. Like it's just, once again, art is so rangy, that if it's good, I can see that going on.
Well,
for a while.
Think about in the back in the Baroque era when people were going to see Bach.
Yeah.
And, Beethoven and symphonies, they're like, oh, you guys going to the concert tonight? Yeah, I got tickets. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. And then it's just, or whatever. And they're just like, have like their powdered wigs on, and they let the hair, they untie the ponytail and they let the powdered wigs fly as they're banging their heads.
That's where that was the original fog machine.
Cutting their sleeves, cutting the sleeves off of their tuxedos. Showing their tattoos back then.
That guy was so badass. One of them didn't even, he couldn't even hear, and he made
Beethoven
music.
was mostly deaf, I believe, and it got worse as he got older, and he was still writing music.
Right.
But and that's also, it's funny too because it's the classical music, and that was what people listened to. And if you, I think I found it somewhere on YouTube, but if you listen to the decades as the years go on, how music changes, and all of a sudden next thing you know, it's Chuck Berry and those kind of things that start changing. But music used to just be that, and when during Civil War it was like one kid on a drum like. Yeah. Did you guys hear the new song? It's March number 7.
Yeah. That was really good. I mean, listen. That kid killed it.
That kid did kill it. The little drummer boy did his thing.
Is he using the...
They even made a song about him in Christmas time.
Yeah.
It was about him.
Yeah.
How did that drummer boy become a Christmas song?
I don't know.
Maybe he really loved Christmas.
Maybe he was born on Jesus' birthday.
Yeah.
He did March number 1, 2, 4, 7, 12, and 13, and those marches were fantastic.
Great.
He nailed it.
Yeah.
He nailed those marches.
The timing. 7/16.
That was the music you listened to. You know. For classical music, it's interesting because there was actually a debate that I read on about iTunes and the way they lump classical music into one genre,
right?
Which was really interesting because they say for people that actually love and listen to classical music, there's so many different eras of classical music.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy to think about. Yeah,
right. And it's like you were just saying with heavy metal, it's like lumping heavy metal, alternative rock, punk rock, classic rock, and just rock.
So
it's like, you want to listen to Pantera or do you want to listen to Don Henley or do you want to listen to that's the way and that they have classical music listed in most everywhere you listen to classical
I never
music.
thought about that, actually.
Right, and you don't know, and they also said it was really interesting too, the way that it's the artist and the composer and this and that. It's like you're not looking for London's symphony to play their version of Beethoven. You want to just look for Beethoven and find that. Right. So that should be the artist. It's really an interesting debate that they have. So anyway, that's that. But I just thought the oldies thing was pretty ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you actually went to the concert to be able to tell us that.
Yeah, I mean, I would go. Bottom line, I would go back. You know who's going to be back? They said they're coming back in November.
Bach.
And
Bach.
Is Bach
no,
back?
he's been dead for hundreds of years.
Bach back?
No, but I'll tell you who I thought. I'll tell you who I thought was gonna. Who unfortunately.
Bach's back.
I'll tell you who I thought was dead, and I guess I hate to say that, but who's the headliner the next time they're going to be there in November is Chubby Checker.
Who? Oh, I knew that he was still alive.
I had no idea. You know Chubby Checker? No. Do the twist again. Did last night. He did the twist. He's only 77.
That's kind of crazy too.
He's only 77.
I thought he was a little bit older than that.
He was like 8 when he came out. The song.
Yeah.
Let's make sure. Siri's going to tell us. How old is Chubby Checker?
That may be beyond my abilities.
That's how old he is.
Yeah.
How old is Chubby Checker?
Chubby Checker is 77.
Wow. He is
so thanks, Siri.
Yeah.
Chubby Checker. Yeah, let me tell her thanks. Thanks, Siri.
My pleasure.
So polite.
But that leads me into a really good question that I had for you before. Was there anybody there this time that we may know?
I think you might know the songs, but not necessarily the group. It was a lot of
people.
groups.
Yeah.
They had a very their headliner. I guess they had a headliner. His name was Lloyd Price, and I can't recall the song, but he ended up. Everyone played for about 20 minutes or so, and he ended up playing for like at least 45 minutes to an hour. But he was the main act. I don't really know.
What was his name again? I'm sorry.
Lloyd Price.
Lloyd Price.
Yeah.
No, never heard of him.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a couple of groups like that. I think next time there's going to be the Duprees. Like that's a pretty well-known.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
And so they're going to be there next time. But you know how it is. Like some of them might have only one surviving member.
Yeah.
But they're still carrying it on.
If you look at like shows like Jersey Boy and those type of things, like those songs are all the doo-wop era.
Yeah.
And they're all hits.
Yeah.
And we know them all at our age.
It's the four-part. To me, it's the four-part harmony that blows me away.
Right.
On all those songs, it's
always
so
good.
talented. Like when we try to do our four-part harmony.
You want an example one?
Yeah, I could do an example one, and then.
Yeah, give us an example. We'll join you. We'll join you.
We're gonna take out GarageBand, and we're gonna build a chord.
Ooh.
All right. We're gonna build a chord. Here we go. Let's get the keyboard out. We're just going to build a C major. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Let's turn up the volume. Let's get it low. So you stay down low.
It was pretty bad, but you know,
still bad. All right. So obviously we're not going to be an old school doo-woppy band.
No, but instead it would be. See, that's why I feel like if we were a heavy metal band, it would be a lot easier for us to have a 60th anniversary because we could just go. Yeah.
I mean, he's already got a devil's head on. So
yeah. Big fan of the devil. That guy's great.
There's this one of the guys that was there had a really funny old timey jokes. Like he had like you could tell they were doing their 2-man routine. And it was something about I see my sergeant in the crowd. And he was like, you were never in the Army. And it was something about him getting shot in the face, but it was like the crowd was just eating it up. And I can't remember. I wrote it down because I was like, I can't wait to tell the sergeant joke on the podcast. Then I forget what it means.
Oh, my gosh.
But it was great. It's something about getting shot in the ass, too. Like, it was a whole thing. It was, no, he got shot in the face, and then they grafted skin from his ass, so he's an ass face, or something like that. But it was like, all the jokes are jokes. And the crowd dug it. It was great. I loved it.
I would have ate that up too.
That's what I mean. Like it was like a very wholesome good time. It's just like our podcast. It's a wholesome good time, except for when you say fuck a lot.
Listen, what are you gonna fucking do?
All right, Fig's pick of the week.
Yeah,
I think we covered everything we needed to on the oldies. Anything else you wanted to ask about or talk about on that? I talked about everything I wanted to.
No,
about the oldies concert and that and some of those things I wanted to touch on.
If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below.
For oldies?
For oldies, I don't know. For anything.
Yeah, and then I'll filter them through to my grandma because she can't read the comments. I'll write them on and give them to her in an envelope.
Yeah.
So, like I mentioned before, off the podcast there, so I'm going to mention it now on the podcast.
Yeah. Mention on the podcast.
I'm going to mention it on the podcast there. So, obviously, our taste in music changes.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure. At least mine has. I'm not sure if yours has. I mean, you've been a fan of Metallica for like 72 years.
Yeah, but I like to think I have a wide range. Okay. Not as wide as you, but wide enough.
But like for me, I've just gone through different layers. So I went through first initially being into heavy metal music because that's what I first started listening to.
Right.
Then I went to punk. Then I just been progressing to everything. And most recently, now I'm going into like the blues type of stuff. Like I'm into more like just chills, like
new blues or old blues. Like Gary Clark Jr.?
Like, I could listen to Gary Clark Jr. I love Gary Clark Jr.
Great.
He's good.
So it's that kind of stuff is what I'm getting into. But more recently, I have a new artist, new for me anyway.
Is this Fig's Pick of the Week?
This is
Fig's Pick of the Week.
Fig's Pick of the Week. Great grabbing of that microphone for those that are watching.
Yeah. Got the wraparound.
It's a wraparound.
Or the reach around.
The talent.
No, that's something different.
No, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
No, that's something. I think that's something different.
When you grab your microphone like this with all your fingers, that's the reach around.
We're going from explicit to triple X. Yeah.
So for this week, it's a new blues jam bandy type of thing that I'm listening to. St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
Yeah. Some of you may have heard of them, and that's good. But I have just recently listened to their new album, Apollo.
Amazing.
Yeah, from beginning to end, fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's in the blues genre.
In blues, blues genre.
Maybe we can get away with playing a few seconds of it. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but we'll try. I guess
it's not like we're getting any monetization from this. So I think we should be fine.
I can pop something out real quick.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll play Apollo, which is probably the song that you've probably, if you've listened to them, if you heard it on the radio, this is probably the song you heard.
Okay.
Ooh. I'm digging it. I like that.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So that's the premise of what they are pretty much into. It's a jam bandy type of type of thing. It's just kind of
almost like rhythm and blues, R&B kind of
a bluesy vibe.
Yeah, and that's the type of stuff I've been listening to recently, and that's just a band that kind of like, they're pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I think if you're interested in seeing them in Jersey, I think the next time they're going to be here is for when Dave Matthews is going to be doing that.
Down in Asbury Park, See Here Now festival.
So I think that's the next time they're going to be in Jersey. In case you're interested in seeing them live, I hear their shows are great. I'm probably going to be there myself. So
yeah.
Give me a reach out if you're gonna.
Give me a reach around.
Give me a reach around if you're gonna be there.
Just give him a reach around if he's gonna be there.
Give me a reach around. Yeah.
Just come up behind him and just start going to town.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. I will accept all and any reach arounds.
You only want to be paid in reach arounds.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I have to say too, and I've said it before, but so I do feel like I have a broad range of taste of music, but Fig seeks out music way more than I do, and he's given me great recommendations. So Fig's Pick of the Week. For movies are always good because he's got a lot. He watches a lot of movies on the way to and from work, but also his musical tastes as well. They come up on my iPod all the time. He's got some great bands he's recommended for me.
Yeah. So for this pick of the week, I will give 6 out of 7 figs.
Wow.
Whoa.
He's figging his music too.
Do it.
Bloop 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 bloop.
Nice.
Wow.
I had to fit that 6th one in there.
Yeah, that was tough, but you got it in there.
I reached it around.
You reached it around.
You reached around
just got
and
it
popped
top.
that 6 up top. Yeah, that's good.
I think my problem because Fig is really good at this, right? I think my problem is that I don't give things enough of a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Movies more so than music, I think. But
I agree with you. I'm like that for any content where I've been saying I want to watch this thing, and it takes me a while to just get the first one going. And once I get the first one going, I bang out. I bang out. Like those we were watching it at one of our friends' houses, Fig and I. But the
I
CNN
love that movie.
Fig and I.
Fig and I.
The Fig and I. No, it's the Fig and I.
Yeah.
One of my
It's him in a
favorite
crown.
movies.
It's him in a crown just walking around.
Yeah.
Can you make a Fig and I a poster?
I was thinking about it as soon as you were saying it.
The Fig and I. I'm going to point it out. There's the Fig and I. And quickly rate that with the number of figs you're going to give that. Go.
I got to see it, but I'm assuming it's going to be 3 out of 5.
Okay, perfect.
I'm assuming it's solid.
Yeah.
Just bloop, bloop, bloop.
They crawled up.
I like how there's a behind the bloop.
Yeah. But you didn't have to goop any away.
I didn't have to goop any.
No goops yet.
Yeah.
But I lost my train of thought with the Fig and I.
Oh, that's gonna be a goop.
The decades documentaries from CNN that are on Netflix where they talk about the 70s, 80s, and so they've been in my queue forever. And it just took me watching one to finally kind of break the threshold and then burn through the rest of them. So I know what you're saying when it comes to just kind of like
too. They're really good.
They're fantastic.
Tom Hanks did them.
Tom Hanks did them.
Yeah, crazy.
And also, Tom Hanks was in one of them and just did an interview, like, for one, I think it was the 80s, he was doing an interview about the TV section. Yeah. And he's just rocking gray hair. Like, no one talks about it.
Yeah.
But Tom Hanks never has gray hair. So either he was getting ready for a role or he was letting his natural grow out for a little bit. Right. He's like, listen, this is a serious documentary. Let them see my natural Tom Hanks hair color.
Yeah. I saw a meme on Reddit the other day, and it was actors that nobody hates convention, and it was only 2 people. It was Tom Hanks and Keanu Reeves. And
that's true.
And they were just sitting at a table.
They're both the greatest human beings.
Yeah.
We're getting off topic, but that reminds me of another thing I saw online where it was people were sharing stories of celebrities that were doing things that were so like what you would think the celebrity does. Yeah. And someone said they saw Keanu Reeves just walking around Brooklyn, just stopping and taking really crooked photos of graffiti. And then with a turtleneck. And then he kept walking. Yeah. And that's fantastic because it's like, Keanu Reeves would do that. Just like really crooked. What do they call that when you take him crooked?
That's Dutch angle.
Dutch angle. He's doing a lot of Dutch angle photographs of graffiti and various.
Why is it called Dutch angle?
I don't know.
Because the Dutch are extremely tall, so they usually have to
bend down to say hello.
They
have to bend down to smoke their marijuana.
Bend down to smoke their marijuana.
Yeah.
All right. That was good. That was it. That's funny though, because I saw a very similar thing with good old Keanu. Everyone loves Keanu.
Everyone loves him.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Seems like it.
He's a good guy.
He seems like it.
I mean, crazy story. Do you know the story of his life and like how? It's crazy story.
I don't know if I do. No.
Well, I don't know the premise of it, but a lot of people in his life have like passed away. And he's just
River Phoenix, his sister.
Yeah, he's had a very, very hard life. Yeah. To be the type of human being that he still is.
Well, even speaking
Kudos.
Speaking of content, like you said, music that it's like, it's hard for you to kind of break the threshold or get into it. The same thing with me when he first showed me John Wick. I was like, I don't want to. It looked like a movie that was going to just be like a. But man, that movie was fantastic.
I watched it when I was sick one time, and I remember it. I was just like, this is the best movie I've ever seen.
So good.
But you don't when you're sick and out with flu, you don't remember me having conversations with you about the podcast. But you remember full movies.
Full movies. It's just
but me calling you to talk about the podcast, and you're like, I'll do that. I'll do that particular edit, and then you're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Everything you say to me. Yeah.
Sick and non-sick.
Yeah. It goes into my purgeable files.
Purgeable files. It just stays there until you're ready to purge them all.
That's part of the 256 gigabytes that you're trying to get rid of on your hard drive.
Exactly.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, we can wrap this up. We're ready at a good time here, but I think since we were talking about music, I think really quickly I can mention too that we were belting out some tunes last night in New York City for Abby's birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Abby.
Happy birthday, Abby.
Yep.
Who is?
I like how you're looking on the camera, but she's right behind you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Abby.
But Fig has talking of his range. Fig nailed My Chemical Romance. I'm Not Okay. I promise.
Spot on.
Yep.
Spot on.
It's a great song.
Tom and I handled One Headlight by the Wallflowers like it was nothing.
By the way, you're like, Fig, come to join us. I'm like, what song is this?
What? You don't know One Headlight?
I've maybe heard Wallflowers once in my life.
But you don't recognize the chorus at least?
Oh.
One headlight.
See, he always that's Tom singing. You see the furrowing of his brows. That's the Tom singing voice. Yeah.
And that's the one part that you always gave me the microphone. I'm like, one headlight.
Yeah. I know.
You're just reading it.
Yeah, I had no idea.
But anyway, speaking of music, it was a ton of fun. We had a bunch of people there. We're all singing. It was a really.
I didn't know
great
I liked karaoke that much.
Abby, what was the name of the place?
Go-Go-Pa. Go-Go-Pa.
Yeah, Go-Go-Pa.
Or Go-Go-Pa. Either way, G-O-G-O-P-A.
Yeah, Gagopa.
Gagopa.
In K-Town.
Gagopa?
Gagopa.
Gagopa. There's 2 A's, 1 O.
And there's a G. Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it
2
out.
G's.
You sounded like you were spelling Mississippi. G-O-P-P-P-I-A-S-M.
S-S-I-P-P-I-S-M.
It's in K-Town in New York City.
Yeah.
Just put in G-A-P and it should pop up.
Gap.
Great
Yeah.
place.
So, or a bunch of gaps are going to pop up. just put in G-A-P and it's going to pop up. This, and he starts singing in the Gap.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem right as he's singing a bunch of Britney Spears in the Gap.
The people working there are like, sir, you have to leave. You cannot be singing.
Either buy the khakis or go.
Yeah. But they don't fit me. I'm serious. The Gap does not make clothes for me. Anyway.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Right,
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Go ahead, Fig. Finish your drink.
Sorry. I'm Fig.
That's it. Not thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Right.
Thank you for listening.
Perfect.
No, thank you for listening and thank you for watching.
Ooh, you're good.
You gotta go with the ears first.
Yep.
You can watch us on.
You can watch us on YouTube,
You can listen to us on
Spotify,
and
iHeartRadio, iTunes.
Apple Podcasts.
There's a bunch of apps now.
A bunch of them.
Yeah. So pretty much anywhere your podcasts, you listen to podcasts, you could probably find us.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Thank God for the RSS feed.
Yeah.
As an FYI, we're going to be starting a Spotify Fig of the Week picks.
Ooh, yes.
So there's going to be a playlist that's going to be accruing a bunch of different picks. If you're interested, register, sign up.
Fig's pick of the week.
Fig's Pick of the Week. So right now
Picks.
there's one song on there.
Yeah.
There's going to be one song.
Man, I feel like you could add more than one
I
of
can
their
add,
songs.
I'll add 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it could be future picks of the week. Pop them on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's bring around. Thank you for joining us for another episode of HodgePodge.
I'm Tom.
Dan.
I'm still Fig.
Thanks for watching.
And listening. Thanks.
Pinch poke, you owe me
I
a
was
Coke.
like, Jinx jokes, you owe me a Coke? Pinch poke.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Fig. I feel like that's copy.